Today's Class Clown has one of the most diverse CVs of any guest we've had on the show. He's appeared in Star Wars, Guardians of the Galaxy, Alan Partridge, Shaun of the Dead, John Wick and South Park. He also co-created the cult hits Look Around You and the Peter Serfinowicz Show. This is an incredible chat. I absolutely love this one and I know you're going to love it too. Please enjoy Peter Serfinowicz. This is me.
Is it?
That is me.
Wow, dude. So you were a little blondie then, yeah?
I was, yes.
Wow, okay, great,
And,
cool.
well, we could just start.
Yeah, let's just start, right?
Little blondie. And then what was meant to happen is this was meant to become a kind of, what's the word I'm looking at? Not collage. Shrine.
Shrine. Oh, shrine, okay.
A shrine of kind of things that inspired me growing up. And so the only thing we've got so far is that.
Okay.
It's a VHS copy of Liar,
right.
which I saw 8 times at the cinema.
Wow, okay.
£2.50 at the ABC.
How many? That's like 16 liars.
Yeah. So that's all we've got.
You saw it 8 times at the
did.
cinema.
£2.50, ABC, Brighton.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have anything the same? Something that you were just absolutely fell in love with? Like this man here, he literally changed the course of my life.
Right.
If he didn't exist, I don't know what I would be doing.
Right, okay. Wow. So, and that's your favourite of his? You'd
It
seen
is
other ones?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is
yeah.
not a normal choice.
Okay.
Normally it'd be Ace Ventura, probably, or Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, yeah. So my thing, I suppose, was when I was a kid, we had a VHS player, recorder.
VCR?
Yeah, VCR. Oh, you grew up in America? Okay. So,
yeah.
So
video,
yeah.
because when I was a kid, I called it the video machine.
The video machine. Wow.
That was it.
Okay.
Video machine,
video
washing machine.
Washing machine.
Video machine.
Okay. All right.
What did you call it?
It's called it the. I don't know, probably the video, or just the video, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Each their own.
But yeah, so I remember going to see. So when Star Wars first came on the TV, it was shown on ITV, and I recorded it from the TV, and it had all the ads in it and stuff, and that was the thing. I remember one summer holidays, like watching that every single morning, and there were a couple of days that I watched it like twice, so I don't know how many times I've seen it.
Which one? Do you remember?
Star Wars.
Okay.
I
won't say A New Hope.
I mean, yeah, it's A New Hope, but like as it was then called, I mean, that's just crazy. And it still remains my favorite film, despite like how oversaturated that whole thing has become. Right?
Yeah. But was it a moment that you remember? The thing when we were growing up, there was the TV guide wasn't on the screen. There wasn't on demand. So you didn't go, I want to watch this, and you chose to watch it. It's like, there's a thing it's on, and suddenly it's caught your attention, and hang on, this has changed my life. Was it like that with Star Wars? It just happened to be on, and it got you, or do you remember being shown it?
I don't. Well, I actually, I pestered my mom to take me when it came out in the cinemas a few years before, and she said that, I was so, I knew about it because like the other kids had seen it, and they were like, the Star Wars toys, and like, and I didn't really know what, I think I called him Dark Vader, and but I
there are really a lot of people that will relate to that. I think I might have done that.
Yeah. And so I went. My mom took me to see it, and she said after 20 minutes, probably around the time like in the film where they're all sitting around in the kind of apprentice boardroom kind of bit where they're talking about, they're having some discussion,
and
they're all sitting there, all grey uniforms, and Darth Vader's there, and it's like, she said around that time I was just like, Mom, can we go? This is so boring, But it was only when it was on TV that it really connected with me,
Okay.
But then there were other things like that. There were other things like, so really it was like when I was a kid, for like the very early years, there were only 3 channels, and then there was Channel 4, but it was like watching, I remember seeing a thing for a Spike Milligan show, like a trailer for a Spike Milligan show, and it was like, holy shit, who is this guy, right? He was like, it was a thing where he did, it was like, the announcer said, and we are sad to announce the death of the much-loved comedian Spike Milligan. And it was like an old sort of sepia portrait of him, like he was like from the 1800s. And then as this like obituary was going on, he was like, what? Right? Like something just exploded in my head, you know, and I just thought, oh my God. I mean, I'm just goosebumping just thinking about it now. It's like, wow, people can be, you know, that kind of crazy, you know, and it was actually, there was another thing which is a huge influence on me when I was a kid, and like I just couldn't believe what I was watching was Police Squad. Did you ever watch that?
Oh yeah. So how old are you at this point?
So
Police
like
Squad with Leslie Nielsen.
With Leslie Nielsen, yeah. So it was like which became the Naked Gun movies, and like. They wouldn't like that. I remember going to see The Naked Gun, and I must have been about 14 when that came out, and I was so excited for it. And it just wasn't as good as that TV show.
That's when you know you're hardcore, though, when you're getting to go and watch A Naked Gun and going, wasn't as good as the series. Because to me, I didn't know Police Squad. I knew the films, and they were just fantastic.
Yeah. But have you seen Police Squad, though?
I wouldn't. No.
Dude,
not
it's like you're in for such a treat, because it was like 6.5 hours. It's the most deadpan, ridiculous show. It's so much more deadpan than The Naked Gun. It's got so many jokes in it. It's like, oh my God, it was the same thing. I was just like, I had a little kind of comedy aneurysm, you know, like, wow, you know, I mean, and that Spike Milligan, Monty Python, you know, they've been my big influences.
Well, often when Python's brought up, and you'll know this, you would have heard this yourself, Python's brought up and it was a kind of, often it was a rebellion to people's parents. It was, the joy came from that their parents didn't get it, and it was for them.
Yeah.
Was that the same for you, or were you watching it with your parents?
You know, I watched it especially with my mom, and like our whole family we were really into comedy, and like as a family we all watched Only Fools and Horses, which was fantastic, and we, you know, it was a real, I think we all really, my parents really appreciated comedy and like the importance of it, you know, and yeah, I mean, so it wasn't so much about like rebelling against my parents. It was more like just seeing, like, particularly with Python, embodied this thing of like these men who look like these kind of important, serious men being absolute idiots, you know, and that's the thing, Mr. Important, like who's a complete lunatic, you know. I love that, you know, and I think that's definitely a thing that I've, you know, in my career, I suppose, like that's, you know, that's a lot of that is like being kind of Mr., you know, I'm like a tall white guy, you know, and I'm, you know, I kind of look like if I put a suit on, it's like I can sort of walk in anywhere.
Very dapper. I walked past you once in, like, sorry, this is going to be strange for you, but I where the hell was my memory's shot today. Beatles last gig. They did their last gig on the roof.
Oh, yeah. Is it Savile Row?
Yeah, and there's lots of clothes shops.
Yeah.
I saw you around there. I mean, you looked incredible.
Oh, dude, thanks, man. Wow, that must have been a good day. I don't always look like shit most days.
It was a very good day.
Thanks, man. Thanks. So you a Beatles fan then?
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, yes, everyone is, but I'm not a fan. I can't deep dive with you. Right. I watched the Peter Jackson doc.
Did you? Okay, right.
It was lockdown. You watched it?
Yeah. Kiss. Yeah. I mean, I was sort of like, you know, I only watched a bit of that. I was kind of, I'm a bit Beatles oversaturated, you know. And
Liverpool.
Yeah, and when I was a kid, I didn't like the Beatles. It was like I didn't like the Beatles. I didn't like football. because those were the things that you were supposed to like. And
is that especially growing up in Liverpool that you were supposed to?
Yeah,
you had to.
Yeah. So it was my mate Simon, who's like my best friend from school, who's still like my best friend now. He's a psychiatrist now in Sheffield, and he's but he kind of got me into the Beatles, and I got him into Monty Python.
Oh, okay.
And through Monty Python, it was like Monty Python, then the Rutles was on TV, right? Do you know this?
I know the Rutles.
So the Rutles was like a thing that Eric Idle and Neil Innes did. It was a mockumentary about the Rutles, who were like the Beatles, right?
Do you know what? I listened to Eric Idle's autobiography, which is great fun, and yes, he loved this show. He loved making this. This show. And it sounded really funny, but I didn't go back and watch it.
It was great, and it's like that got me. So so Neil Innes and Eric Idle, it was mainly Neil Innes, wrote these songs that were like parodies of the Beatles songs, but in a very sort of. They were very kind of loving tributes to them, and like it was such a really clever, funny thing they did, and it was cool. No one had done anything like it before, and so they had listening to like their take on it goes through their whole career, and they've got like their sort of parody versions of like the Sgt. Pepper stuff, and I was really into that, and Simon was like, he was into the Beatles, and he said, look, if you enjoy the Rutles, maybe you might enjoy the Beatles, right? So I was like,
you got to them backwards.
Yeah, I did.
Got to them completely
I did,
wrong
yeah,
way. That's hilarious.
I did, and then years later, I got to meet Neil Innes at a screening of something, and I got to tell him that his thing got me into the Beatles, and I was really, it was like a really nice moment,
That's a lovely moment.
Yeah.
I kind of got to do, circling back to that, I got to meet Jim Carrey in Montreal. It was a bit weird. I mean, I was a bit starstruck, and I just said, you changed my life. Thank you.
Wow, okay.
And, as you can imagine, he didn't really know what to do with that. And he was very nice and very polite, but I was quite shaken because I felt like there was this one person who had changed for him, he's just at work. He's just making films, and I'm going, you changed the course of my life, man.
But like, what did you say it like that? I mean, no wonder. Okay, but like, I guess that's
so
what
cool that you got to meet. It's always interesting that I think in this business in particular. Although I suppose most creative businesses, that you end up getting to meet these people that have had some sort of effect on what you went on to do with your life. Watching the what was it called again? Sorry, the
Rutles.
The Rutles.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Rutles.
Yeah.
That will have had an impact on you, the way you do your comedy, how you see things.
Absolutely.
And then you meet that person, and you get to say, thanks for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think maybe it's been the main driving force of my career that I wanted to be like, I saw these comedians on TV and in films, and I thought, I want to be friends with them and for them to think I'm funny, like, so I could make them laugh, right? And like, and I guess like, to an extent, I've met like and worked with so many of like these people that I've idolized, right? And like, so I became friends with Harry Enfield, for instance, right? And like,
I know Harry.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Harry he's beautiful, isn't he, Harry? And Harry one day picked me up on the back of his moped, and like he said to me, I bet you didn't think that one day you were going to be on the back of getting a ride on a moped from Stavros. And I was like, exactly what I was thinking, It was wonderful, right? It was just wonderful. But like, that's the real, it's like, for me, I guess like the best things about doing this job are having those encounters where I meet or I get to work with these people that I've loved and respected, and like who've changed my life, right? And the other thing is when I meet people on the street who like recognize me from some stupid thing that I've done that has really connected with them. That's what I love, right? That's what
that's great.
It's like, That's it. It's the best,
but
right?
even I don't normally do this. I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing, but I wikied you,
Yeah.
and you do the voice for Darth Maul.
Yes.
So even I mean that blows my mind because I didn't know you were going to tell me, oh, I watched Star Wars, I recorded it, then I watched it twice a day, and then you end up doing the voice.
That's it. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I did.
What?
Yeah. And that was, so like,
That's incredible.
So like James L. Jones was like, that's the, he's got the best voice of any human ever, right? And like, then suddenly there I was with George Lucas, and he was like saying, "Well, Peter, you're the new James Earl Jones," and I was like, "Fucking hell, am I?" Then why are you paying me such shit money then, George? But like, and that was that. It was kind of weird because like this character Darth Maul was like, was, I don't know what I thought of this guy, the design of it. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I wasn't that kind of into it. It was like, and when I saw the film, it was like I thought it was the biggest disappointment of my life at that point. Watching that film, like,
Oh my God.
yeah, it really was. Yeah, I mean, have you seen it?
Are we talking about the Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had more rock bottoms than that, mate.
Right. Since, right?
That's not the worst,
okay.
most disappointing moment of my life, I can tell you.
But like at that time, right? By that time, it was like, dude, it was so exciting that even, being in it, right, and doing this thing, this, what I thought was like this going to be this iconic kind of thing. It was like, it's just unimaginable, right? And then, but even that.
It's iconic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it sort of is. It's like,
I don't guess it. It is.
I mean, I suppose, it is a weird thing. It's like, I remember my son, Sam, was like, when he was like sort of like 4, I guess, and I thought, it's great. I can tell him, all his mates into Star Wars. It's like, guess what, and then having to explain to him as age 4 that like, so that's your dad, but like, well, not the guy, right? I didn't do all the sword fighting. I just do his voice. And he's like, well, why did you do that? Well, like, just they didn't like his voice. What do you mean you do his? So like, I record over his. And then, presumably he had to explain that to his friends and like, to get that sort of cool little
I'll
point.
tell you what, mate, I'm impressed.
Oh, thanks, man.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm very impressed, so don't worry. I'm in no way disappointed.
Oh, good,
that you
okay.
only did the voice for Darth Maul.
But it is a weird thing.
Episode 1.
He only says like about 20 words in the whole film, and I'm delighted that I've done that, and like it's like a really weird thing to be associated with.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Some exciting news. To celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Class Clown, we have launched some merchandise with this week's episode sponsor, Shopify. I love listening to my favourite podcasts at home with a brew in my favourite mug, and now you can do the same with your very own Class Clown mug while wearing a Class Clown t-shirt and a Class Clown hat. Make sure you hit the link in the episode description to check out our online store that we have launched with Shopify. The success of this podcast has really been amazing, and it's all down to you guys for listening, so thank you so much. When we started the podcast, we wondered if the topic would be a bit niche and if anyone would tune in at all. But over the last year, we have had well over 3 million streams and downloads and tens of millions of clip views on the socials. And honestly, it's blown us away. So we have launched our own merch store with the help of Shopify, and it's been an incredibly simple process working with them. If you are thinking about taking a leap yourself and starting a business, I would highly recommend you check out Shopify. You can get started with your own design studio, which has hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify helps you build an incredible online store that matches your brand's style, and Shopify also helps spread your brand's awareness with built-in marketing and email tools to find and keep new customers. And of course, there's the iconic and instantly recognizable purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world. It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. It also helps boost conversions, meaning less carts going abandoned and more sales for you. It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your £1 per month trial today at shopify.co.uk. Go to shopify.co.uk. That's shopify.co.uk.
Yeah.
All right, talk to me then about this. I wonder if you've kind of asked yourself this. Maybe a bit indulgent to ask yourself this, but I would forgive you for it. How do we go from boy watching Star Wars, coming across it, okay, wants to leave in the cinema, but then finally watches it on TV? It's a life-changing moment. I love this. How have you made that happen? There are a lot of people, I asked the universe.
Yeah.
And it can't. Is it just an accident? Or, the word manifestation would be used a lot today. That word wasn't really around when you were watching Star Wars on VHS. How have you done that? That's the odds of that. I watched Star Wars. I'm now in Star Wars. You've made that happen. How did you do it?
I don't know. I guess I got into Buddhism about a few years ago, and that sort of explained a lot for me. Because when I was a kid, I was it was Liverpool Catholic school. We went to church on a Sunday, and we weren't super religious, but it was that's what you had to. I mean, was that you? Where did you grow up?
Well, I was kind of Camden, Lewisham.
Yeah.
Then went to Brighton when I was 11.
Right.
I tell people I'm from Brighton.
Right. Okay.
But,
so.
Yeah. And it was the outskirts of Brighton, so it's kind of.
Right. Okay.
The working class bit, not the bit.
Not the.
There were no didgeridoos on my street.
Okay. Right. Were there any didgeridon'ts? Why did I even say that? Why did I say?
We'll allow it. We'll snip it.
Yeah. Now, do you know what? Keep it in. It's authentic.
Yeah.
Keep it in. I thought, should I say? I don't know.
No, say it.
Anyway, so it's. I think. Listening to, I listened to this guy Alan Watts. Have you ever heard of him? This philosopher.
My mate's recommended me a lot of Alan Watts, and I've downloaded it, but not then done.
Yeah, I mean, it's that had happened to me in my life, and so another couple of my heroes are Matt Stone and Trey Parker, right? Who I got to work with, and I got to work on South Park, and we started making a movie together, and they were they're maybe my greatest living heroes, even though I know, I mean, they're just as people. I mean, I just respect them as people and as creatives. They're what I aspire to be like. You know, they're just amazing. And one of the things, one of the Alan Watts references that I discovered was that the first animation they did together, they animated a bit of one of Alan Watts's lectures, right? And I thought, wow, if they're into him, it was but he's he made all these. He went off for 20 years. He's an English guy. Went off for 20 years to Asia, learned all about Eastern philosophy, and then moved to America, and then spent 20, 30 years going around America, giving lectures on his version of Zen Buddhism, but also he bought a reel-to-reel tape recorder and recorded all these lectures, so they're all you can just find them all on YouTube. And it doesn't sound like you're listening to a guy from sometimes 70 years ago, these recordings. He's the best, man. He's amazing. And so he would say that that you kind of, the sort of point of things is not to listen, you're not your thoughts, your thoughts or your emotions. One of the things he says, just let life happen. Just trust yourself. Just imagine you're watching yourself going through life. Just trust yourself to be you, and I don't know, maybe it's something to do with that. I was doing that without consciously knowing that I was doing it.
So I'm presuming, and I'm only presuming this, that there wouldn't have been any kind of perhaps path that you were being told you should take by your parents. I've often found doing this, I get to kind of, it's not hear a pattern, but sometimes there are similarities in people's stories, and one of them is that usually there's no kind of restriction. So often the people that end up going to do these fantastical things and amazing things, like you watch Star Wars and then you ended up being in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is that wasn't kind of told, that was out of reach. I mean, it's a given, but you're not actually told you better go to university, which would kind of stop any kind of dreaming.
Yeah. Well, actually,
do you know what I mean?
I mean, it was like my dad wanted me to go to university. It was like, that's because like I was
completely debunked.
Yeah, no, he did. But it's like,
you're totally wrong, Sean. Thank you very much.
No, it was, but like then my mom was like, she always knew that she knew that I was gonna be like an actor, comedian, or whatever, and I used to do impressions, and I was that kind of kid, and
how far back?
Like from when the first impression I did was when I was like, I think I was like 2 or just about 2 years old, right? And there was a kid who lived upstairs in this, we had like a couple of rooms in this house in Liverpool, and the kid upstairs was Australian, I think. What's his name? Andrew, maybe? And we used to play together, and when my mom picked me, when it was time to go, he would say, "See you later, Peter," and that was what I would say to my mom. That was my impression of him,
Lovely.
Yeah, and so she was like, she knew that I was like kind of going through school and not doing my homework, and kind of, she kind of wasn't bothered that I was doing that. She was like, she just knew I was gonna do this in some kind of way, and she's brilliant, man. She's brilliant.
She nailed it.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she did. Yeah,
but you said there that from the Alan Watts of, what was it? How did you phrase it? Kind of letting yourself be.
Yeah, just trusting yourself to be yourself, and
So you naturally had that. Retrospectively, you think
I don't know. I mean, I think I was diagnosed ADHD when I was like 40, and don't know whether are you that or
everyone tells me I'm that, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I can't be. Ironically, I just can't be bothered with making an appointment.
ADHD, right? Okay, so yeah. So yeah, I mean, and whatever that is.
Yes.
And people don't really know what it is, but like certainly people are. There are certain kinds of people that we sniff each other out, and we kind of like don't operate in the way that the world is designed. It's like kind of like it's a bit difficult for us to do certain things, and we get kind of sidetracked and see the world differently, I suppose. And so
you were scatty at school.
Yeah.
Scatty's a fair word, but you weren't paying attention, as it were.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't, and like I didn't realize that. I saw school as like being in prison, really, for most of it. And as it went on, I just wanted to just escape, and I hated doing homework. I hated being in lessons as well. I just thought the idea of going to university for me was just ludicrous. What, I'm going to just voluntarily go and like be in this situation, like fuck off, But it was. But I really didn't understand that like. Its purpose is to teach you things, and
yes, I'm the exact same.
And yeah. Well,
well, just with that, absolutely, that school for me was, it was in the way of fun. What are we doing here? We could be having fun, and instead you're trying to tell me about the Tudors. Who cares about the Tudors? What are you talking about? Let's go and paint a window.
So you were the class clown, because this is called class clown.
This is called class clown.
Yeah.
I don't know I think you might put me under that bracket, but I was certainly what I wanted to. I certainly caused trouble.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I was kicked out of class a lot.
Yeah.
And all of that.
Well done, mate. Well done. Yeah.
So were you the class clown?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was. And yeah, I mean, you know, I
You and Simon.
Simon, yeah. Well, I mean, Simon was more, you know, he could have fun, and you know, he had a great sense of humor, and still does. And like, you know, he's really clever, but he would kind of, he had the balance of being able to fuck around with me, and like we would do things like, I remember doing things like making like a comic strip about our teachers, right? And he would write that with me, and it got confiscated, and I got sent to the head, and then I went into the head's office. He was like, you know what? It's actually kind of it's wrong that you did that in that RE lesson, but you know, it actually was pretty funny. You know, I was like, yeah, great. You know, he had it up on his notice board in his office. You know, and but Simon, whereas Simon, like he did his homework, and he eventually got like, I think we were the first year to do GCSEs, and he got like something like 13 A's, and like, you know, and then I just managed to drag, like I managed to do like, I got like 9, I got like 2 A's, some B's, and then some other letters further down the alphabet, you know, and so yeah, he could do that, you know, and whereas like, man, I just
a couple of A's is still quite.
It's all right, you
good.
know.
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
you can't. I imagine you can't have misbehaved too much to pick up a couple of A's. Might be wrong.
I mean, I think I was like...
A's in what? English.
English.
It's always English.
English.
Comedians.
Maths, yeah.
It's always English.
Yeah,
I've always listened, every time I'm here it's, but I excelled in English, or I liked English.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
jealous.
I don't know. I suppose like I did read quite a bit, and it's funny, like thinking back to like when you were talking about the Tudors and stuff, it's like, I'm kind of, you know, I'd be into learning all about that now, right? History,
Absolutely.
you know, now, yeah.
Trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah, but like just being genuinely interested, seeing like the relevance of like, you know, these people that actually existed, and like they had these fights and disagreements, and the way they lived, and the clothes they wore, and like just their daily lives and stuff. I mean, that's all like fascinating to me. It was so abstract, and so back then it just, you know, it was like, it felt like just it wasn't, you know. But now I know that it was real, and like, I don't know, it's fascinating. You know, I'm just fascinated by everything, right? And I don't know.
Do you make an effort to be fascinated by it because perhaps you weren't at school? Like I just said there that it's a personal thing of mine. I feel like I'm trying. I better learn that now. I didn't learn anything then.
Right.
I kind of feel like I'm in a hurry now to learn things.
Right.
That's not the case for you?
Don't know if I've got that conscious guilt, right? But like, I think,
Conscious guilt.
yeah.
I feel like I'm in therapy.
I'm consumed by guilt like you are. I mean, God, I pity you. Right?
How was the pod? Well, it turns out I have conscious guilt about my upbringing.
But
Yes.
I suppose, I don't know. I'm just, you know, it's just, I guess I'm just like open to stuff now, and just like, you know, and, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm like seeking out documentaries on BBC4 about the Tudors and, you know, stuff. It's like I'm not doing that, but like I'm up for it, you know, like, you know.
That's part 1 with Peter. You can hear part 2 right now over on patreon.com/classclown. And while you were there, you can also get access to some exclusive content with Peter answering your questions. See you next week for more Class Clown.